So I lost 2 hours worth of editing. I gotta do all that tedious all over again. Hello everyone and welcome to the Hippie Nurse. My name is Phyllis and I'm the Hippie Nurse. Last week I talked all about boundary setting and giving an introduction to a concept called the window of tolerance. So today, let's dive a little bit more deep into the window of tolerance and see if we can make our window wider. Why would I want to widen the window? Within the window, when I'm in that center part of the window, I feel regulated. I can see when my boundaries are being ignored without as much emotional attachment, and I can take a healthy action to declare my boundaries and my follow-through. I won't be hypervigilant, allowing my reactions to grow and exaggerate along with the other person, escalating the situation, and I won't be hypo-aroused either, dropping down into my small self, disengaging, or emotionally checking out. So let's do a little recap on what exactly this window is. Within the window, your body is in its optimal state. Fight, flight, freeze, faint, fawn is not activated. You can think rationally. You can maintain control. When you get riled up and you start losing control, you go above your window of tolerance into hyperarousal, fight or flight, and it's difficult to calm down. You may become overreactive. Your thoughts may be all jumbled. You're emotionally distressed. Physically, the sympathetic nervous system is activated when you rise above the window into the hyperarousal state. The heart begins to race, your breathing becomes faster and more shallow, your adrenaline is ramping up, kicking your muscles into gear, getting ready to either fight or to run away. Your stomach could be in knots, your thinking could be cloudy, and so how do we get out of this? Using mindfulness and breathing techniques can help bring us back down to within our window of tolerance with a well-regulated emotional system. The opposite response takes you below your tolerance into hypoarousal, or freeze or faint. That's where the parasympathetic system takes over. You may become numb to your emotions or overwhelmed with shame. You may be depressed or lethargic. Dissociation is also a common reaction when hypoaroused. Getting physically active can help you break out of this and rise back up into your window of tolerance. Mindfulness and breath work are also helpful here. So one of my favorite ways to break out of this state when I get hypo-aroused and I go into freeze mode or dissociation, which is one of my coping techniques that I have been learning over time to overcome, is to practice this method called the 5x5 method. We have 5 senses. We have seeing, touch, hearing, taste, and smell, right? So 5x5 is easy to remember. You do 5 things from the 5 senses. I find that I'm below my window of tolerance and I'm starting to go into zoning out, dissociation, or I'm starting to get really depressed. So I start out by looking around me and looking at my room or out in nature and naming 5 distinct things that I see. And I look at all the details of those 5 things. Then we move on to touch. I've got my cell phone case here. It is got a unique texture to it, a little pleather feel. And then I touch my water glass with ice and it's cold and refreshing and moist. What else? I can touch my sweater. That's got a good texture to it that I can concentrate on. So that helps bring my mind back to the present moment. That is what we're doing right here by working our way out of the bottom and back into the window of tolerance, bringing ourselves back into our bodies, back into our minds, into a controlled, regulated mental state. So then, hearing. What do I hear? My room's actually pretty quiet right now. That's amazing. Usually there's a bird chirping or my cat's going crazy outside the door, something to listen to. But if there's no noise, maybe you can rap on the desk and create some noise to concentrate on to help bring you back to center. Okay, smell. What smells are around here that can help bring me back into awareness of my body? Well, I have flavored water, and I can smell the cherry lime in my water. That's really good, by the way. And I cheated. That's the next step. I go into taste here. But it's not really cheating if you do it the way you need to do it. So if you need to mix them up and do one smell and then one taste and then go back to a touch, whatever it takes to get you back into your body. So seeing, touching, hearing, smelling, and tasting. 5 different things to help bring you back into your body. And you don't have to do all 5 of all 5 senses either. You can do as many as you need till you find that you're regulated again. There's a sound. All right, so I like to actively work on my window of tolerance as much as possible. This doesn't mean that I allow myself to be a pushover. It's the exact opposite, actually. When I'm within my window, I set better boundaries with more appropriate consequences, and I follow through with them much better. I feel better about those boundaries and about life in general. I can observe what's going around me much better, and I can make judgments based on my centered state. I can recognize better when I'm being manipulated or when a circumstance isn't in my best interest, and I can better know how to deal with that. When I'm outside my window and I'm hyper-aroused, my mind is in the back seat, and others' actions may be exaggerated in my mind. I might make a mountain out of a molehill, and I can overreact. When I'm outside my window on the hypo-arousal side, I'll zone out. I'll accept a verbal abuse and just tune it out. The abuser will continue over and over and over again as long as I stay under my window of tolerance. A wide window of tolerance does not mean you'll just accept more bad behavior from others. In my experience, it's exactly the opposite. I'm able to stay more level-headed to be able to enforce my boundaries better. So how do we go about widening that window? A few weeks ago, I mentioned sitting with the pain. Learning to actually feel our feelings is very important to help us release them. When we ignore a feeling, it doesn't go away. It just stuffs down inside of us, waiting for the perfect time to come right back up to the surface again, wanting to be felt so that it can be released. Being able to learn to sit quietly with our feelings and allowing them, we not only widen our window, we may even discover that they're not as bad as we thought. Maybe we're able to release those emotions much quicker than we thought we would. Emotions are not meant to stick around forever, but they will if we ignore them. Another way to help widen that window is to look at our limiting beliefs about the world and asking ourselves, is it really true? Perhaps coming up with more empowering beliefs and creating affirmations to remind us of them to help us ground within those beliefs. Some examples. The world is pretty safe. People in general are pretty safe. I can cope with most things. I have some control over things that happen to me, and I can accept the things that cannot be changed. I can handle any emotion for 15 minutes. I will sit with this emotion for 15 minutes and see what happens. Gratitude is a huge window opener. Another way we can work to widen our window is to perhaps create a gratitude ritual at the end of our day. Maybe linking this to something you already do ritualistically, like brushing your teeth. Every night when you're brushing your teeth before bed, you can name 3 things that you're grateful for that happened to you today. And finding something specific about your day that you can praise yourself for as you wash your face. Going outside of your window is a body response. Either fight and flight kicks in or freeze and faint does, sending you either above or below your window. So another way to train your body to not overreact to stressors is to become in tune with your body. When you're in your window, you may still feel discomfort, but you're not yet over the edge. But your body will give you clues that you're starting to get close to that top of your window. Learning to become more in tune with what your body is doing. Like, are your shoulders hunched? Is your stomach tight? Is your breathing becoming more shallow? Or are you starting to clench your fists or your jaw? Now, before it gets too bad, is the time to recognize these signs. Your coping mechanisms work much greater if you catch it early before you get into that hyper-aroused state. So start your calming exercises now before you get into fight-flight response. There's another technique called r.a.i.n, so that you can examine your thoughts and emotions. r.a.i.n is to recognize, allow, investigate, and nurture. We recognize our discomfort. We allow what is happening to happen. We investigate how we feel and what we need. And then we nurture ourselves, giving ourselves what we need. When someone cuts us off in traffic, we may find ourselves getting very angry. Very angry. Remember r.a.i.n. Recognize the fact that you're getting angry. See how it feels in the body. Where do you feel that anger? Then allow. Will getting angry and screaming at my car get that person out from in front of me? No. Will it get me to my destination any faster? No. Can I allow this to happen? I mean, we can't fight reality. What is, and we can't change it. So being angry over it doesn't really do much good in the long run. Discomfort is basically us saying that we will not accept reality. It happened. It can't be undone. I have the right to be triggered and allow this to ruin my day that guy just cut me off. Or I have the right to choose to allow what is happening to happen. And then investigate. How is this making me feel? What do I need in this moment? When I'm cut off in traffic, maybe I need to feel safe. Maybe I feel like he could have hit me and put me in danger. Maybe I feel like he could be making me late and making me have to slow down to get to my destination. Okay, so those are possibilities of how I could be feeling and what I might feel like I need in that moment. Nurture. What do I need in this moment? I need to feel safe. So if I need to feel safe, what do I need to do? Maybe back off his tail a little bit, give a little bit more space between me and him. I also notice and take care of my body. So because he cut me off, I'm clenching that steering wheel and I'm hunching my shoulders and I'm furrowing my brow and I'm ready to explode and yell at the next person to cross my path. All right, so I notice this. Maybe while I'm driving, I do a few shoulder rolls, loosen my grip on the wheel, get a nice calm deep breath in and let it out. And I take care of my body and I take care of my physical needs as well as my emotional needs in that moment. So just a quick recap on what r.a.i.n method is. Recognize what our discomfort is. We recognize that we are having discomfort, whether we're above or below that window of tolerance. Then we allow what is. We allow what is happening to happen because there is nothing else. The only choice is to allow or to have pain. Now we investigate. How do we feel? What do we need in this moment? And then we nurture ourselves. We give ourselves what it is that we do need. One of the best ways to help yourself regulate or stay within your window is with self-compassion. Forgive yourself for your mistakes, and you will make them. Everyone does. You can learn from them and forgive them, or you can shame yourself and keep shaming yourself day in and day out. Celebrate your small successes. You usually get triggered on your way to work every single day, and today you were able to put on some good music and chillax as you were stopped in traffic. Good job. Celebrate it. Give yourself a little pat on the back. We're learning to change the way that our brain thinks, and that takes time, and it takes repetition, doing it again and again and again. And eventually, those neural pathways will rewire themselves to the new way that you want to be. We just have to keep working on that. Celebrating those little successes will help the brain remember, hey, doing this is a good thing. And over time, those neural pathways will become stronger and will replace those old, outmoded patterns of behavior. All right, well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please smash that like button and give me a subscribe down below, hitting that notification bell if you want. All your choice. And I love you guys so very much, and I'll see you in my next video. Namaste. I gotta sneeze. I think I gotta sneeze. Well, that's a good outtake. Hello, I want to talk to you about r.a.i.n. r.a.i.n saved my life today. Well, at least it helped me keep me away from a meltdown. Let's just say that. r.a.i.n is awesome. The acronym r.a.i.n. It's a very good tool to use when you're getting upset. I just spent all morning and half the afternoon editing a new video for YouTube. And I try to remember to save my work regularly. Important. You do videos, save your work. Anyway, so I found that the video editor screwed up and made my whole video really awkward and distorted. And I had to shut it down and bring the project back up. Problem was that last time I saved my work was 2 hours previous. So I lost 2 hours worth of editing. I gotta do all that tedious all over again. And I just wanted to pick up my laptop and throw it out the window and scream and yell. And my 90-year-old mother was walking through the room at the time, and I had to not let her see me in that state. So I practiced r.a.i.n because actually that was the video I was editing on. You know what r.a.i.n is? It's a coping technique. You recognize, allow, investigate, and nurture. So I recognized I just lost 2 hours worth of work. I am angry. I'm getting triggered. I'm recognizing the fact that I'm triggered. Allow. Okay, I have to allow this to happen because this has happened and there's no other choice but to allow. My other choice is to either allow or to be triggered and angry and upset. Those are the only two choices. So I chose to allow. Investigate. How am I feeling? How's my body reacting to this? My shoulders are hunched, my stomach is clenched, my jaw is clenched, my hands are in fists, and I'm wanting to just destroy something. I'm angry. And investigate. What do I need in this moment? I need to calm down. I need to get into another activity. So nurture. Let's nurture ourselves. Let's put this project away and go do something fun. Like make a TikTok about it. Love you guys. Remember, r.a.i.n.